Lord Arkin has drawn up his battle line on a gently rolling plain. To the south his line is protected by the swift-running river Yoris, to the north by broken rocky fields. You and your companions have been posted to the ruins of an old barn on a low outcrop just to the north behind the army. In the distance you can just see the long line of green-clad warriors and the dark, ragged line that approaches it. Your duty, however, is to look the other way, to guard the northern flank and report the movement of any force that might try and outflank your army. As the morning sun reaches its height, the first horns are blown and a mob of gnolls charges forward, crashing into the Aladorian line. Even at a distance, you can hear the clash of metal, the horrible barks of the gnolls, and the screams of the dying. The initial attack is repulsed, as are two others. As the late afternoon sun descends towards the horizon, your line still holds. Piles of dead lie in front of it. Then, one of your companions grabs your arm and points away to the north. Little light flickers of green can be seen moving over the rocks. They are much too fast to be human. As they grow closer, her horrific wailing cuts through the air. You see them now. Ghostly spectres, flying above the ground, their long arms outstretched before them. Hurriedly you blow your horn, desperate to warn Lord Arkin. Then you draw your weapon and prepare to fight. In an instant, the creatures wash over you, then fly too high to strike, and despite the few arrows you fire, they ignore you completely. On the plain below, you see the end of the Aladorian line turn to face this new threat that's coming. But even as the manoeuvre is completed, the spectres crash into the warriors, bowling them over, dashing them to the ground. At the same instant, a new group of heavily armoured cultists surges forward at the point where the line has been turned. Suddenly attacked from both sides, the line crumbles in an instant. While Lord Arkin manages to rally the southern half of his army, the northern half is routed, with men fleeing in all directions. Your duty is clear. You must join the fight and provide as much protection as you can to give the fleeing soldiers a chance to escape and regroup. Hello, my friends. My name is Owen, and here I am at Adventures at the Time Between Times. Thank you for joining me. Here we're going to play the rearguard scenario from the Ghost Stone supplement for Rangers of Shadowdeep. I bought it myself from thru RPG. It cost about $15, I think, and it contains 4 scenarios for 2 bands of Rangers, which makes it really interesting. We're going with the first scenario today. It's called the Rearguard. You've heard the intro, so, well, what can we do? I hope you're all well. Thanks for joining me. If you want to support me, please can buy me a coffee at ko.com/Owenstaton. I'd be really grateful. You've seen the introductory video for my new warband from the Sundered Forest. So please, if you haven't, go back and take a look. But hey, let's not waste any more time. Let's get on the board and see exactly what happens. All the best, my friends. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Rangers of Shadowdeep playthrough with me, Owen Staton. Now, I've done an introduction to this one, so let's get right at it. Here we are in the scenario from Ghost Stone, one of the expansions for Rangers of Shadowdeep, and one which I'm really looking forward to playing. And this scenario is called a Rearguard. I'll have done the introductory text before we begun, so we'll go back to that as well and have a look. And here I am introducing my new warband, which I've also put a video up. If you haven't seen it, have a look at that. It introduces my new characters. They are Aladorian outlaws from the Sundered Forest, led by Leofric, Lord of the Forest Green. I wonder who he is. But there he is there. You can get a closer look at him on the introductory video. Leofric is joined by the Bear, a barbarian, a huge barbarian who carries a quarterstaff, very, very loyal, very, very friendly. Holic the monk, who is a conjurer of sorts, who can cast some spells and get us into the game that way. We have Sanguid the Bard, is an Arcanist. There he is there. And we have Calon, the Shepherd's Son, is a Guardsman. There he is there. And we have Megan, the Conjurer, who is here as well. As per the introduction, seems like this adventure is all about a rearguard action protecting a fleeing Aladorian army, which is making its way from one end of the board to the other. And as you can see, right at the back of the board here, we have 8 Aladorian soldiers who are making their way from the battlefield, having been ambushed by the forces of the Shadowdeep. The aim of the game is to get them off this way here. So what has happened is the army has gone forward, has done battle with an overwhelming force. The Shadowdeep is taking over all the lands, moving from north to south. It's taking all of Alador with it. But what can we do to protect it? Well, that's really important, isn't it, my friends? So what we have got are this rear action, which could possibly slow down and allow our army to regroup and get ourselves into the game. So it's played over 9 turns. I have a deck of cards which I've shuffled around the back here, which has all the encounters in it and a host of things which will come on the board as we later go. As you can see, this part of Alador is a rather creepy, sort of dusky sort of place where you probably can't see your hand in front of your face. There's a dank mist that hangs all over it. And here we have some standing stones and the remains of an old village which still stands. Played for 9 turns. The turn dice is there. I have to generate a random positioning for a clue marker next to one of the soldiers. So I've got a D8 here. 1 to 8 across the board. So 8, oh gosh, the clue marker goes right here next to this soldier here. So wow, that's going to be hard to find. Throughout the game, my friends, I'll roll dice. The white dice will be the dice of the outlaws of the Sundered Forest, and this grey dice will be the dice for the villains of the piece, whoever they may be. The rules are quite simple. It's a D20, add the skill modification of your character, and then take away your enemy's armour. Does that amount of hits. So it's quite simple. It's quite a straightforward game. As you know, this starts with the Ranger phase. So the Ranger goes first. The Outlaw, the Lord of the Greenwood himself will go first, followed by the creatures, and as well as some companions within 6 inches of him. Then the villains will go, then the companions will go, and then we'll make an event phase at the end of every turn. So, sit back, relax, enjoy, let me play the game. Whatever you're doing, just have it there in the background and know the fun that you can have through war games themselves. I'm just checking to make sure everything's okay. I'm going to make sure my legs stay still, just for you, Marcel. And I'm going to try and see how we go. So here we go with turn 1 of the rear guard here in the depths of Alador. And what a turn it's going to be. Here we have our adventurers. Have just awoken. They've been staying in these ruined houses in this dank husk of a place. They can hear the cries of wounded men. And all of a sudden, out of the mist come these forlorn-looking wounded Aladorian soldiers trying to make their way back to the friendly lines. At the start of the turn, the Lord of the Greenwood himself, Leofric, is going to move. He can move 6 inches. I believe he can move faster, actually. He can move 7 inches. So I'm going to move him up here towards the line to make sure that he can guide these men in. And the bear is going to follow him. The bear is going to follow him, always at the side of Leofric. Ever since they fought when they first met, they have been inseparable. Okay, we have our friend here. It's going to move into the corner and just keep an eye on things from that area there. And I'll leave it at that for my the start of my adventurers. Okay. We don't have any enemies or creature phase at this moment, but what we do have is the companion phase. We go back to this. At this point, the Aladorian soldiers can move. So they move down this way, and each one of them goes 5 inches, which brings us to about here. So shuffling out of the mist, these soldiers come. This man staggers forward and tells Lord Leofric, my lord, the enemy are hot on our heels. Flee while you can, flee while you can. This one rushes forward there. This one rushes forward there. And this one each of them coming forward as fast as their wounded, exhausted legs would carry them. They fought a battle all this day, but still they come forward. Our friends from the sundered forest will not flee. They will not move away. They will not move to enemy lines. Each of them will take a movement towards the enemy, towards where we can look for treasure, where we can look for glory. Although they have been, it's not a good start for him, is it? As that falls on him. Although they have been cast aside by the King of Alador and forced to live the last few years in a forest, they know that they are still on the side of good, and they will fight for what is right. It's now, my friends, the companion phase, and now the event phase. Now it's a special event that happens at the end of this, and now we see the emergence of the enemies of this piece. 8 spectres, each of them swirling on the mist, make their way into the board. Each of them chasing down what is in front of them. Each of them carried on a wind of magic that moves swiftly, winding through the breeze. All of them a hell-found terror of the dark that move forward in order to assault and attack anything that's in front of them. Each of them striding forward. Here they come. And that, my friends, is the end of that turn, a simple turn. Although I do have an event phase, I draw a card, and what do I have? The Queen of Clubs. You'll have to forgive me, I've got a PDF bought from Drive-Thru RPG for this game, but of course it's on my iPad, which is right in front of you there. So here we go. I have to use my phone for the event deck. Here we have the Queen, the Red Queen. Place a spectre at the centre point of the spectre table. Oh well, that just gives us a 9th spectre, a 9th wonder. I'll just lean down into my box of spectres and bring another one forth. Could have been worse, couldn't it? But can you imagine what it must be like now for the heroes of the Greenwood to look and see those coming out of the mist in front of us, to see those swirling against us. Right, now is the second turn. Now I think things are going to get interesting, aren't they? We start with the Ranger phase. And Leofric, okay, what's he going to do? Leofric is going to move slightly to the side, urging that warrior to go on. And he is going to take a shot with his bow. He draws his bow, formed from the oaks of the sundered wood. He is going to fire at this creature and try and make some sort of impact straight away. Now, I have the Spectre card here from the creature deck that I bought. And the way that shooting works is I roll a d20, I add Leofric's shoot, I roll the fight for the Spectre, and we see exactly how we do it. Okay, Leofric will be the white dice, the Spectre will be the grey dice. So here he goes, his first ever shot, and it's a good one. Leofric scores an 11. He has a shoot modifier of +2, so that gives him 13. However, he did move, so that's -1. The Spectre scored a 7 and has a fight modifier of +1, so he loses. So the shot flies through, and even though the ethereal Spectre is made from the dark magic, the essence of dark magic, this arrow strikes home into his heart. Now, he's got an armour of 10, so even though I've only scored a 12, that would be 2 hits. But, unfortunately, Spectres take half damage from non-magical weapons. So that Spectre, that one in front of him, the arrow just sort of bats aside really, and he takes 1 hit. 1 hit. That is kind of scary, isn't it? The bear. Now the bear is an absolute beast of a man, and he feels that he should rush forward to fight those Spectres, but I don't think he is within range. But yes, he is, my friends. Yes, he is. The bear, fearless, rushes forward to do battle with the Spectre here, bringing up his quarterstaff to bring it down hard upon his head. The bear has a fight of +4, the Spectre +1. Oh, 6 for the bear. He's got a fight of +4, so that gives him a score of 10. And the Spectre scores 6, so the bear wins. Unfortunately, the armour of the Spectre is 10, so it wouldn't do any damage. But on this occasion, my friends, on this occasion, the bear has +2 strength from his quarterstaff. So wham! When I say wham, it's not exactly wake me up before you go. It's just a slight sort of smack on the side of the head, and the bear will do a little bit of damage to the spectre. I'm moving away here because quite unprofessionally I left my dice outside. Just going to grab them. But that's a single point of damage to the spectre, very much like Leofric. One hit, but it's one hit. Oh, hold on. So yeah, it would have been 10, wouldn't it? And then it would have been 12. Yeah, one hit for the half damage. Oh, dear me. These are going to be hard to kill, my friends. They're going to be hard to kill indeed. Anyone else within 6 inches? Yeah, we have our friend here who is the Bard Sanguid. Now, does he have a missile weapon? No, he doesn't. So he's not going to be able to fire, but he's going to come up and support Leofric at this point. He knows that this must be done. It is now the enemy phase, the creature phase. Unfortunately, good gosh, the bear has left himself wide open here, isn't he? He's going to go like that. The spectres are moving forward 6 inches at a time, which is scarily fast for the Aladorian soldiers in front of them. Here they go. Wow, okay. Those two have moved together. This one, with the 1 hit point, is going to make its way here and attack that Aladorian soldier, try to cut him down as he flees. This one also will try and cut down that soldier as he flees. This one here, can't quite get there. They rush forward. All right, okay, the one's in combat. What have we got? Okay, we have the soldiers who, let's see their stats. Okay, they've got a fight +1. So he's going to attack the Aladorian soldier that's fleeing, that one over there. Let's have a look how we get on. The Aladorian soldier scores a 12. The Spectre scores a 9, so that's a 13 for the Aladorian compared to a 10 for the Spectre. So that's 3 hits. So that Spectre there, he turns around and hits it, batting it away for 2 points of damage. In fact, the Aladorian soldier, fleeing for his very life, has scored the best hit so far on the Spectres. Okay, and the one here, straight in front of us there, he's going for the Aladorian soldier as well. Again, the Aladorian, I believe that's a draw. +1 for the Aladorian soldier, gives him a score of 13. The Spectre, oh no, the Spectre beats him by 1, doesn't he? So actually does 4 points of damage on him. Ouch. The Aladorian soldier takes a dagger to the back, but staggers forward. He can do that, he can still fight. Excuse my dice as we cover the board, my friends. All right, okay, he's going to rush away and rush that way. Now, the bear. The bear is now fighting the Spectre in front of him here, who is supported by a friend, so that gives him +2. The bear is going to battle against them both, swinging his quarterstaff over his head. Oh, he scored a 3. That gives him a score of 7. The Spectre scores a 16, 17. So hits the bear square in the face, essentially. The bear's got armor 11, so it takes 6 points of damage. He has 14, that puts him down to 8. He roars, absolutely roars, as the Spectre's icy cold dagger hits him, well, not in the heart, but not far off. Okay, the companion phase, here we go. Right, the rest of these Aladorian soldiers are going to start carry on running as fast as they can towards the board edge to try and get away. This one's quite elderly. Okay, here we go. Okay, run, my friends, run. We must get back. We must get back. It breaks away there. We must get back and tell our lords what faces us. Away. Okay, right. Now there's a special rule for companions. There's 2 actions we can do. As a companion, I can try and inspire the soldiers basically to run faster. I need to score, I believe it's a leadership score, a leadership of 16. So how we're going to do that is our friend here is going to try and inspire this elderly gent. He scores a 20. Wow. Shows leadership beyond measure, so he can move an extra 2 inches, which is nice. Our friend here, the monk, he scores a 16 as well. Well, this is good news. Okay. And Megan, I believe, is too far away. But let's go to our companion phase. Okay, so the bear has moved. The musician has moved. Megan, the spellcaster, the Arcanist, the monk, Holic, and we have also here our the shepherd's son, Carlin, who's quite a useful fighter. What shall I do? Okay, Megan, let's go with her first, right? She's got a fireball spell, and magic bolt. Let me quickly look at both of those as I speak to you. A spell list, okay, here we are, great stuff. Magic bolt, +5 shooting attack against one figure, and the fireball will be a +3 shooting attack. All figures within 2 points of that, 2 inches of that point, up for a +3 shooting attack. So she's going to do that, because she's going to fire it at this middle spectre here, and hopefully hurt both of them. Now that is really useful, and also because it's a magical attack, they will take full damage, which would be really useful to us. So, casting a spell in a language as old as the mountains, as capricious as the sea, she winds her arms around and, summoning all her magical powers, casts a spell right at this spectre in the centre. A flaming ball fires out. It's a +3, so +3 attack. Oh, 19. Oh, the spectre scores 19 as well, but she has +3. That gives her 23 points against the spectre's 20, which means that she is victorious with an incredible feat of magic. And flames burst from her hands, hitting the spectre square in the chops. All right, with a score of 23 minus his armor of 10, that's 13 points of damage. He explodes in a fizz of magical energy. Now, spectres on either side, 2 inches on either side of him, so that'll be both of these, will also get the same amount of attack. So let's hope we can try and thin their ranks a little bit here. Let's have a look at this spectre here. Let's see what Megan does. Oh, look, on that occasion, she scores a 14 to his 16. So he just manages to duck to the side of the magical energies. And this spectre here, oh, she only scores a 1 to come out of his 12. So he also manages to avoid the magical energies. However, that's not a bad start, is it? That's a really good start, actually. She's done really, really well there. Okay, Holic, the monk, he also has some spells. And what he's going to go with is the Burning Light spell. +3 attack against all undead creatures within 8 inches and line of sight of the caster. Wow. Now that's good. But he's not in the best position, really. But within 8 inches of him, we have this spectre here, this spectre, the two that have already been bombarded by Megan, and we don't quite have that one. So these two are going to receive another sort of burning light. He raises his hands to the heavens, and a holy light shoots forward. Let's have a look how he gets on. So 6 against a 13, so it doesn't do any damage there, unfortunately. And the second time, 9 and a 14. These two spectres are very, very robust, and neither of them takes damage. Okay, so they both cast spells. Now the shepherd's son is going to charge in against this one here, because otherwise our magic users are going to be quite exposed, aren't they, in the next turn. So he's going to charge in and make an attack on the spectre there. He screams to the heavens. He spent most of his life in the Greenwood. He knows not of the evil of Shadowdeep, but here he comes. Hopefully bringing his sword up. Ooh, the 16, but the spectre scores a 20. That's a critical hit. Ouch. The spectre scores a 21 compared to his 18. Oh, that's not good, is it? A 21 for the spectre. What's his armour? The shepherd's son has an armour of 11. Oh my gosh, he is hit for 10 points of damage. He has 12 hits. He's now down to 2. Ouch! Oh, now that is brutal. The dark blade of the spectre has cut deep indeed. Ooh, right, okay. Right. Okay. That's the companions. The companions have moved. Let's go to the event phase, my friends, and see exactly what's going to happen here. Right. This is turn 2. I'm going to draw the Jack. The Jack. Let's see what happens. I pick up my phone like my owl bear cover there, which is nice. The Jack, the red Jack, place a null sergeant on a random table corner. 1 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20. 1 to 5, up there, a null sergeant. So not only have we got these spectres wafting through the air, but now a null. Is he a herald of something to come? A herald of more nulls that will attack in the future? Let's find out. I don't know. Oh, okay. It's the ranger phase. Right. This spectre is wounded. We're going to try and take him out. We don't want to leave the bear to get slain along his own there. So we'll try a two-pronged attack on the spectre in front of us to begin. Is Megan within 6 inches of... Yes, she is. So maybe we can do a three-pronged attack here. Right. Bring up his bow. Takes aim. Takes a steady aim. He's got a spell as Leofric, and it is steady aim. And he can use that to make a +5, give him +5 to any roll. And he's going to do it here, because otherwise these soldiers are going to get overwhelmed quite quickly. So bringing the bow up to his eye, he uses all his skills he has mustered in the greenwood over the years to fire at the spectre. So he's firing at it at +7. Oh, thankfully, the spectre scores 3, he scores 5. That gives him a score of 12 with his bow. So he hits the spectre for 2, halved because of the magical weapon. So he takes another hit point, which is quite unfortunate. But here we go. Oh, Bard will rush forward and try and do some action with him here. Okay, let's have a look. Sang with the Bard. He's fight +2, so that's not bad. He's okay. He's going to rush in and fight the Spectre anyway and see how he gets on. Gosh, look at that. He scores a 20 to the Spectre's 12. So he scores a score of 22 to the Spectre's score of 13. Take away the Spectre's armour, which the Spectre's armour is 10. So he hits the Spectre for 12 points of damage. But, of course, that is halved. So the Spectre takes 6 wounds. Going to take some whittling away these are. So he's now taking 8 points of damage and has got a health of 10. So he's got 2 left. Right, okay. Now, the option I've got here is, do I go with the bear or do I go with Megan? Now, I think I go with Megan because I want to make sure that she is away from that area before she gets run down by the Spectres. So I'm looking at her spells here. She's got a fireball on the magic bolt. She's used the fireball. She's going to move back 6 inches to here, walking back, always with a spell at the tip of her tongue, and she's going to use magic bolt to fire at the approaching Spectre. A +5 shooting attack against one figure within line of sight. That's really good. So here she comes. She's firing at this Spectre in front of us here. She scores a 14. +5 is 19. Spectre scores an 18. So she just about wins. But that's really good because she hits him square in the chest with a magical bolt for 9 points of damage. It's not quite enough to put him on the ground, which is unfortunate, but it's enough to make him think, isn't it? Magic is the way forward for fighting these creatures of the Shadowdeep. I know that. They really are quite deadly, aren't they? 9 points of damage. Ouch. Okay, so my companions who are close to the Ranger have gone, but now it's the time of the minions of the Shadowdeep. So let's go. This one, who is barely alive, is going to bravely, well, using the rules, he goes forward to the nearest hero, so he goes straight for our monk Holic here. This one's going to move forward 6 inches, chasing the departing soldiers. These two are still in combat with the bear. This one is going to get into combat with the Bard. This one to the Lord of the Greenwood himself. And this one, 6 inches, is going to get him into combat with this fleeing warrior who has already taken some damage. The Knoll Sergeant, let's have a look at him. He can move 6 inches as well. So I'm going to bring him round this standing stone towards us here, just to get into the fight as he surveys what's going on ahead of him. Good stuff, isn't it? Right. Okay, combat. Yeah, I almost forgot then, didn't I? That's the really important part. So what's going to happen here? The Spectre over there against the Guardsman, the Fleeing Guardsman. Fleeing Guardsman did okay last time, and he's done well again this time. He scored 17 to the Spectre's 14. So it's a victory for him. 7 points of damage, halved. We'll halve it up, so that's 4. Spectre had already taken 2, so he's taken 6 now. So, oh, okay, and he's pushed back. I forgot about that as well. He's pushed back. So, bats him off again. Here we have the Lord of the Greenwood is now in combat. Lord Leofric has a fight with +2, so he needs to do well here, to be honest. But he's going to try. He's going to try. Here he is. Oh, yeah, 15. Oh, against the Spectre's 16. That's going to be a draw, isn't it? Because he's got +2, Spectre's got +1. So both of them back off a slight bit, which is good. Okay, here we have Sangwid, the Bard, +2, and this is Spectre's +1. He is on fire. Another critical hit, 20. So that his +2 fight, 22. So that gives him a score of 22 against Spectre's score of 1. Look at that, 1. He couldn't got any worse. So he gives a +5 to his damage. A Spectre is slain. Good news indeed. Good news indeed. Okay, Holic the Monk is not a combat specialist. He is not anyone who wants to see himself in hand-to-hand. However, he is going to fight this Spectre with all his courage. 4. Spectre scores a 5, +1 is 6, but it doesn't beat the Monk's armour, which is actually 10. So he defeats him, pushes him back, but doesn't actually do any damage to him, which is good news. Here we have, we move over here to our other, the Shepherd's Son, who is in all sorts of problems. Carrying on the Shepherd's Son is fight 3. He's fighting against the Spectre, it's +1. So here we go. Oh, he's done well. He's done very well. Scores a 16, another 1 for the Spectres. So that's a 2 compared to his 18. So the Spectre takes 8 points of damage, halved. So this Spectre takes 4 and is knocked back. He's giving himself some breathing space there because he was in all sorts of trouble. And of course the Bear. Bear's up against it. Bear's going to fight this Spectre here. All right, the Spectre has got a +1, Bear is +4, but the Spectre is supported. So the Spectre is +3 to the Bear's +4. 10. Bear has done okay. He has scored 14. Spectre score of 5, so the Bear wins, which is great to see. Scores of 14, +2 for his strength as well, 16, halve it. It's 3 points of damage to the Spectre. So the Spectre's on 4, and it's pushed back. He pushes him back, swirling his quarterstaff over his head. So the Spectres are still in the middle of all this. I think that's the end of the Evildoers phase. So it's the companions again. So here we go. The soldiers are still fleeing south with all that their legs can carry them. They're hoping that they're going to get away scot-free here from the creatures who are following them. And they seem to be doing quite well, which is nice. Really nice. There they go. Okay, like that. Each of them moving forward as best they can away from the Spectres who are chasing them down as they move back to the Aladorian camp. Those companions. Okay, and I've got a few others here now who have not moved. And that is going to be Holic, the monk, and also the Shepherd's Son, Carlin. Colin, is it? Callion. Okay, he's going... Gosh, he's in trouble. He is in trouble. However, now it would be a good opportunity if I use Holic the monk, who has a healing spell. Any target within 6 inches. Is he within 6 inches? Let's have a look. Is he within 6 inches? Yes, he is. He can heal. So I'll go with him first. And he's going to cast against our friend there and heal him 5 hit points. That's putting him back on 7. It's not brilliant, but it's at least an advantage and getting us somewhere, isn't it? Whew, okay, here we go. This is exciting stuff, isn't it? Anyway, emboldened by what the monk has done to help him, he's going to rush forward and do combat with that Spectre. Oh gosh, he shouldn't have been that bold, should he? He scores 4. Spectre scores 13. His armour is 11, so he takes another 2 hit points of damage, knocking him back to 5, and he's pushed back. This really is a baptism of fire for our friend the shepherd's son. Ooh, okay, right. I don't think the bear didn't go either, did he, in my initial turn, I don't think. So the bear is going to come forward. He's full of bravery, and he's going to fight the Spectre who's already been wounded. Perhaps he shouldn't have. Spectre scores a 19 compared to his 12. So whap, hits him hard. How's the bear getting on? Because he's already wounded. He's on 8 hit points. The Spectre has hit him for 19, taking away his armour of 11. The bear goes down under a spectral blade and hits the ground hard. It's hardly a death for the bards to sing about, is it? But who knows? Who knows? And well, let's hope we don't know he's dead yet, do we? Let's see what happens at the end. But I hope his falling, anyway, has inspired the others to greater things. Nice glass of squash. Very British, a glass of squash. Okay, turn 4. Oh no, wait. The cards. You draw a card. The 6 of the red 6. Red 6 standing by. What have we got? We have, let me access the phone and see. Red 6. Ooh. The swirling green light and wailing of the Spectre plays heavily on the nerves of all Rangers, companions and wounded Aladorian soldiers. Must make a will roll, target number 14. If they fail, they will not activate next turn. Okay. Right, that's interesting. Let's quickly go through this then. A swirling green spectral mist surrounds everything. 14 needed. They don't have any will bonuses. No, may not activate. May not activate. May not activate. Oh gosh, they really are taken in by the Spectre. May not activate. May not activate. Oh. May not activate. May not activate. Not one of the soldiers is going to activate. That's scary. Leofric, Lord of the Greenwood, has +4 to his will. May not activate. Sangway the Bard. Oh, he scores a 13. He has a will of +2. He may activate. He's the only one so far. Megan, 13. What's your will? Let's have a look. The will is +3. 16. May activate. Holic. May not activate. Sanguine. 11. I don't think he's going to have a will of 5, is he? +5. No, sorry, +2, so may not activate. Right. Now, okay. The Ranger phase. Well, my Ranger won't activate, which is shocking. But I'm assuming the one within 6 inches who can still, which is only going to be Sangway, can actually activate and can do something. So what is he going to do? Well, he's going to try and stem the tide of the Shadowdeep here and charge in against this creature, this Spectre here. He scores a 12, which isn't bad at all. Okay, he scores a 12, the Sang with the Bards. +2 is 14. The Spectre only scores a 10, so it's 11. So he beats him by 4, halved, so he does 2 points of damage on that Spectre, which isn't very great, is it? But old Phil Spectre himself is doing okay there. But he takes 2 hits anyway, so that's something. That's something for us, which is good. Right, let's find the 2 on that dark dice. Right. Okay, so we have the companions. Oh, that's the Spectre there. The companions are very, very limited in what they can do. Well, there was only him within 6 inches. So now we have the enemies. What are the enemies going to do? This one, who's on 9 hit points of damage, is going to move forward and attack Holic. This one, who's on 4 points of damage, is moving forward to attack the shepherd's son. This one here moves forward 6 inches towards the soldiers who are running away. The Knoll Sergeant sees a chance in glory here to strike down the Lord of the Greenwood. So he's going to rush forward that way, and these two also. Not quite there, although this one is going to try and offer support in this combat here. It's looking a bit tough for our friends there, isn't it, really? I believe it's that one that's going on 4. Okay. All right. Megan can go. Oh, let's do the combat first. Let's do the Knoll against Leofric. Okay. Knoll's got 200 weapon, and he's got fight +3. He just charges out his spear leveled against the Lord of the Greenwood. He can make a name for himself. You can see, even though this man has been living in the forest for many years, still has that air of nobility about him. So here he comes, he charges in. Oh gosh. What a blow as well. What a blow he strikes. He scores a 20 against Leofric's 2, +2 for his fight is 4. The Knoll scores a 20. He's got a fight of +3. He says 23. And he's also got a 200 weapon. That's +2, that's 25. Take away Leofric's armour, which is 11. So that's 14, I believe. 14 hit points. And he is my ranger. He's got health of 19. So that hits him down to 5 hit points. Oh, his leg, his upper leg is skewered by that great spear. Oh, and he's pushed back 2 inches. What a blow that was. The Shadowdeep, it just won't be stopped, will it? Okay, the wounded Spectre here is going to fight against Sanguine. Oh, okay, Sanguine scored a 10. The Spectre scores a 7 and is supported. That gives him a 9, which is still not for either one. So actually, he beats the Spectre, pushes him back, but doesn't do any damage. So because of his armour. So not much going on there at the moment. We move over here where Holic is attacked by the Spectre, who just rears up from behind. Oh, do you know what? There was a 17 lingering there, wasn't there, until he just fell over. Holic, the monk, is going to fight the +0. So even though he wins the... No, it's a draw. It's a draw, so both are pushed back. Okay, and the Shepherd's Son. Big roll for this guy. And did he not pull it out of the bag? He scores a 20. A critical hit against the Spectre rearing up there. Spectre scores a 14. Our friend there, Colic, he scores a 22, I believe, or was he 23 even? So look. Anyway, it's enough. Railing out with his sword, he catches the Spectre and brings it down. Squealing into eternal, it dies a second death and is gone from the board. Okay. Megan has got to go. Alright, she's done a burning bolt, and she's done a fireball as well. So that doesn't exactly leave her with much. Both her spells have been used, which is kind of tough. But do you know what? I think she's in with a genuine shout of doing something to this Spectre here. Holic has been charged down. He's going to get caught. He may well be slain. So she's going to rush in and try and do that 1 point of damage. You can see that this Spectre is only just holding on to his existence in this mortal plane. 17. But he scores 16. And he has a +1 to combat. And she, I believe, I'm just checking, has a +0. So it's a draw. Both are pushed back, but just by doing that, she moves him slightly out of the play, isn't it? Okay, well done, Megan. That was a really, really good effort. Okay. Companions, none of them can move now. None. But we do go to the end of the phase. I don't want to pull the background down there. Stayed up by miracle. A 9. What is a 9? Let me go to the old phone and see what the 9 has to offer us. Okay. Red 9. Place a wounded Aladorian soldier at the centre point of the table edge to the left of the exit edge. Well, this is the exit edge, so we're going to have another wounded Aladorian soldier. Just what we need. Right here. Staggers on. No! Okay. All right. Then we didn't have enough on our plates. It's turn 4. Turn 4, my friend. Okay. Right. All these can now move again. So I'm going to move them round because we could see some of these leaving the board this turn. Maybe. Let's see how we do. Okay. Nice scenario, this. All these scenarios in these books are really good. Okay. Right. Leofric, Lord of the Forest Green. Your friend is getting swamped there, isn't he? He's going to bring up his bow and fire at the Knoll Sergeant. He's got +2. And here he goes. He's used his steadying. What's enhanced power do? Let's have a look. He's got the enhanced power skill, which lets him enhanced power. Anytime a figure casts a spell or generates a shooting attack, feature shoot attacks generate the figure may roll 3 dice for the shooting attack and pick the best one. Ooh, okay. Maybe that is the way of doing it here. Maybe that's the way of doing it. Let's have a look. I'll remember, alright? He scores a 5. His first roll is a 5. The Knoll Sergeant has rolled a 13, so that 5 is no good. Second roll is a 2, which is no good. Third roll is a 13, okay, so we're going to take that. But that's still not enough, unfortunately, because his +2 gives him a score of 15, and the Knoll has got a fight of +3. So, no, that blow isn't going to do enough. Sanguid the Bard. Push forward. Fight this Spectre. It's taking 2 points of damage. Let's see what we can do. We need a good roll and didn't get one. Neither is going to do anything there, but the Spectre, we've got +2. Spectre's got +1. Spectre's 8, we are 7. The Spectre pushes me back exactly where I came from, which is a shame. And is she within 6 inches of her Lord of the Greenwood? Yes, she is. So we can move Megan. Do you know what? She's going to try again at that move and rush in and see what she can do to this Spectre. Oh, no. You know, they say, don't go to the well. Well, go to the well once too often. I think I have done that there. Spectre has got a score of 18 compared to her 3. So he hits her with a stinging shot, which is, ouch, okay. She's got an armour of 10. He hits her for 8 points of damage, and she's on 2 wounds. No, she's not. She's got health 12. She's on 4 wounds. Okay. And is pushed back. Badly wounded and pushed back. Ouch. Right. It's going to be the bad guys' turns. Bad guys. This Spectre here attacks the new Alador soldier. Knoll Sergeant comes in against the Lord of the Greenwood. He's had great success there. This Spectre, and this Spectre come in against Sanguid. So the Spectre in the middle is going to attack and be supported on both sides, which is really, really grim for our hero. He's going to come in and try and finish the job on Megan, and this one is going to attack this fleeing soldier there. So, yeah, okay, let's go for it. The Spectre on the far side there. Oh no, he scored a 2, and the soldier has scored actually a 10 plus 1 is 11. So half. So he's done 1 damage on the Spectre and pushes it back. So this Spectre has taken 7 points of damage, which is something. Okay. All right. The Lord of the Greenwood, Leofric the Wild. Oh, okay. Here he goes. Oh my gosh. That Knoll has just hit him for another 20. That is disastrous for our friend. We've scored 8. The Knoll scored 23. We've scored 10. The Knoll hits us for 13. Our health is only 5. So The Lord of the Greenwood falls to the ground. It feels like a shadow's falling over the whole field, doesn't it? The Knoll Sergeant brays to the skies in triumph. Right, okay. Let's have a look what else we've got here going on. The Sanguid, the Bard. Okay, he has +2 to his attack. +1, +3, +5. He was bold, wasn't he? I've scored 13, he scored a 16. So he hit Sanguid for 6. How many points has he taken so far? He hasn't. And he has an armour of 10, so he takes 6 points of damage. So that puts him on 4. Okay, 4. Alright, ouch. And now this one's going to try and finish Megan off. He's got +1, she's got +0. I really have started to roll badly, haven't I? He scores a 12, 13, so he hits her for 3 points of damage. And she was on 4, so she's barely with us. Barely with us here. Staggering about. Covered in blood, her spells used. All her magical powers have dissipated. But there is hope, my friends. There's always hope. Here we have this Spectre. Scores, oh, well. The Soldier scores 16 to the Spectre's 12. Hits the Spectre for 6. Halved is 3. Oh, good work there. Spectre's taken for 3 points of damage. And this Soldier tries to lead his comrades off the board. Companion's turn. These guys can move 5. This one is off the board. This one leaves the board. This one leaves the board. There is hope for Alador, my friends. Hope springs eternal. And these guys, these veterans of the Aladorian Wars, no, he's not quite there, might be able to come back and battle on. No. Okay. Oh, she was pushed back, wasn't she? Right, my remaining companions, I have the Shepherd's Son rushes in there to do battle, and you are going to turn around. What have you got left, my friend? I know you cast a heal. Holic. He's going to heal ×2. So he's going to heal Megan for another 5 hit points. So Megan is now back up to, she was on 2. She's now back on 7, which is good. Which is good. Oh no, she's on 1. She's on 6, back up to 6. She feels her strength returning somewhat. Thank you. Okay, right. It was a roll I needed, my friend. That Spectre has been around for far too long. We score a 14 to his 10, so we've got 1 hit point left. Down he goes. That gives us a bit of breathing room that we needed. Really does. And I think that's it as far as companions are concerned. Right. It's the end of the turn, the event phase. An 8, red 8. What have we got? A red 8. Red 8. Red 8, place a pair of Knoll archers on a random table edge. Ouch. 1 to 5. 5 to 10. 10 to 15. 15 20. 15 20. Okay, so up here. I don't have figures of Knoll archers, but what I do have are Knoll spearmen, but I will bring those in here in order to be spearmen. They come out called by the braying of the triumphant braying of their captain. Okay. Turn 5. It's a tough outing, but most of our men have left the board. I think at this point, discretion being a better part of valor, we need to start thinking about leaving the board ourselves, although our bard is in all sorts of trouble there. Carlo the Shepherd's Son leads the way. I tell you what he does. He does something beyond honourable. He turns to Megan and Holic and says to them, spread the word. The evil is coming. It must be stopped. I will hold them for all I can. And with a charge, he makes his way, charging over here at this spectre. Ah! Okay. I should be moving the creatures first anyway, so let's see what would happen. I'm moving back. Creatures go before him. This one goes in against him. He's in all sorts of bother here. These come on. And they're both going to fire shots at Cargor. First one. It might be hit. Let's have a look. Null archers. Let's see where we're going with a null archer. They got shoot +2. Oh my gosh! Right, so he scores a 14 against Sandwid's 14. So no, we're okay. He's all right. And the second one, he bats that shot away. This time he's not so lucky, and he takes a shot. 13. That's 15. Take away the 4 for his. He gives that heroic speech, my friends, and then falls to the ground with an arrow in his heart. Ouch. Right, this spectre here, now these have left the board. The nearest person is up here, so he's going to make his way up there. This spectre is going to carry on chasing. Oh, there's a soldier here, so he's going to get into combat with him actually and do battle with him. This, in fact, no, that one is going to attack with 3 supports. 6 plus another 6 is 12 to our score of 11, I believe, isn't it? So yeah, it's going to be a defeat for him. 12. The bard is on 4, so he's on 2 hit points. The combat over there, the soldier did well. And he's done beautifully again with a 19. He hits him, the guy, for 10. The spectre. He's already taken 7, so even halved. Down he goes. Shadowdeep has been blunted slightly, isn't it? Okay. Both these are going to run that way. And start fleeing for the table edge. We cannot. We can hear his song upon the breeze. He's singing a battle song, surrounded by creatures. He goes to war, surrounded by the evildoers. He sings what could be his final song. 8. I thought I had 8 last time. Didn't I? Let's have a look. If I put it back on the pile, let me see. Red 8, yeah, it was the null archers. Sorry. Threw it back on top of the pile. It's the king. Red king. Place a spectre at the centre point of the table edge left of the exit. Okay, so that's over there. So another spectre appears here. Oh no. Good gosh. Right. Turn 6. The spectres are going to go first. And the companions. Right. Spectre. Oh, he's going to catch this guy again. Oh, this is a new spectre. His friend. They are all going to do battle here. These two are going to move forward and fire at Holic. Really quite good. First one, it's a miss. Arrow spins past him. Second one, it's another miss. 2 arrows fire off into the night. Sangwyd, the bard, singing his battle song. Then they score 19. And he takes a fall. We haven't done that battle over there with the Spectre and the warrior. He beats the Spectre, pushes it back, but does no damage. End of the turn, or event phase. Ace. Ace it is. What have I done on my phone, my friends? There it is. Get flustered, you see, when when we're live. Okay, here we go. The ace, red ace, place a spectre, the centre point of the table edge to the right of the exit edge. Gosh, this spectral army is growing, isn't it? They're marching all over the place now. We have a lot to do. A hell of a lot to do. Ho, ho, ho. Next turn. Evildoers go first. 6. 6. These are coming forward as well now. But not in any way able to catch me. The only way we can be caught, I believe now, is by over there. And these are going to take, that one's going to take a shot at Megan, that one's going to take a shot at Holic. The one with Megan, oh, he scores a 17, 19, 19. With an arrow in the back, the heroic conjurer goes down, shouting to Holic, "Go get help! Get help!" He does go to get help. The evildoer scores a 20, hitting him for 10 points of damage. Holic the monk, who has yet to be wounded, staggers on with 3 points. It is okay. He leaves. He leaves. He leaves. And he leaves. Oh, wow. The forces of the Shadowdeep are in control of the battlefield, my friends. Many of Alador's great hopes lie in a heap as swirling spectres fly around them. Let's have a look. Outcome and experience points. +3 experience points for each spectre and all killed. +5 experience points for each wounded Alador soldier that survives. Well, we did well there. In fact, I think they all got off. +8 if we find a half. Or +5 for each ranger or companion still on the table. No. We didn't find the letter or the ring. Oof. I think while we're still there, let's see. So at least you know exactly what has happened to our brave warriors. Let's have a look and see if we can roll and find out exactly where they're at when it comes to the next battle. Thanks for joining me, guys. I've really enjoyed this little playthrough, and we've done okay. We've done okay. That is a really, really tough scenario. It really is. Let's bring out the warriors of the Greenwood. There he is himself, the great man. Okay, we have Megan is down on the floor. We have Sangwid is there. We have the Hogs are fine, isn't he? And we have also the shepherd's son, and we also have the bear. The 4 of them. So let's see where we're at. I roll a d20 for each one, and let's start with Sangwid, who sang that great song. 14, he makes a full recovery, deservedly so. The Lord of the Greenwood himself. 4, a permanent injury. And that permanent injury is going to be a smashed leg. -2 move. He had a +1. His once legendary speed has been somewhat blighted. Okay. Megan. Oh, what did I roll that for? Just the one. It was a 14. She's fine. Sangwid. 20. Full recovery. And the bear. The bear has fallen, my friends. That bear has gone into a hibernation from which it will not wake. Thanks for joining me here. This great game. Really enjoyed it. I hope you're all okay where you are. Take care of yourselves. If you've enjoyed today, please support me. I've got another channel. It's a storytelling channel called Time Between Times. You might really enjoy what's on there. There's a load of stories on there. So please check it out. Any questions? Owenstaton@AOL.com. And if you really feeling generous, you can buy me a coffee on ko-fi.com/Owenstaton, and I would really be grateful for anything you want to send my way that way. That's fantastic. thank you ever so much for joining me. I've had a really great time here this afternoon, and take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon.